What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing ego fighting words. Now, didn't I tell you yesterday when I made my videos that things were starting to heat up? So there's a lot of chatter about a potential fight with Carl Froch, the Cobra, and Gennady Triple G. Yes, no, guys, no, I'm ready now, not for future, Mexican style. Dan Rafael of ESPN, he put his 2 cents in because they were going back and forth, as I told you. Make sure you watch those videos. And Dan Rafael tweeted this: if Carl Froch thinks he's too big and strong for Triple G, wonderful. Then fight the guy and prove it. Simple as that. Otherwise, silence. Now, Carl Froch wasn't having it on his watch. He replies to Dan Rafael, Dan, you should know as much as anyone, boxing is never that quote-unquote simple. So say something constructive, otherwise silence. Now, the unnecessary part of it is he put a burger in fries. As you guys know, Dan Rafael he's a hefty dude. He's pretty big. He's a bit portly, if you will. So, obviously that was a jab at his weight. I mean, because there's no other reason on earth that you needed to put a hamburger and french fries as an emoji. And then Dan Rafael responds, and if Eddie Hearn needs any phone numbers, I'm happy to help. And then Carl Froch says, I'm sure he doesn't use those numbers they use. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about like sex lines. I don't know. I can't really insinuate. Then obviously it rubbed Dan Rafael the wrong way, because he went on to say Joe Calzaghe would fight Triple G, and Joe Calzaghe's record, we know he's undefeated, etc. So obviously Carl Froch got under the skin of Dan Rafael, and Dan Rafael got under the skin of Carl Froch. Me personally, I just want to see this fight. Carl Froch, Triple G, is a good fight. It's a telling fight, which, I mean, for Carl Froch, his resume is better, like really good, and better than a lot of people give him credit for. So he doesn't have to prove. I mean, this is just a last stride at greatness. You know what I mean? The last chapter of his career. He's getting up there in age, pushing 40. And for Triple G, it's more telling because we haven't seen him in with someone as good. How hungry Triple G is, and if he's the real deal, he is exactly what they say he is. So it's a good fight. It's a hard fight to predict. I could easily say, oh, Triple G, based on his accomplishments at 160, but people got to keep in mind, Triple G would be moving up 8 pounds, and that could have some difference. Sometimes guys can take a shot better. Sometimes they hit harder than other middleweights that, you know what I mean? Triple G, bottom line, I'm not talking about amateurs. I'm talking about as a pro. He hasn't fought anyone exactly like Carl Froch. You know what I mean? A granite chin, a guy that can club you. You know what I mean? He's fought, like, the biggest puncher I think that Triple G has fought would be, in recent memory, probably Curtis Stevens. And Curtis Stevens kind of doesn't let his hands go. I've never seen that problem with Carl Froch. So either way, it's a good fight. I could probably favor Triple G, but it's a meaningful, telling fight. You guys drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of the Carl Froch, Dan Rafael of ESPN little beef and jabs at each other. Did Dan Rafael get ether? Drop me a comment. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.